Welcome to the Sleep to Dream Analytics Explainer video, where better sleep starts with better understanding. You know, there's an incredible symphony playing inside you right now. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the amazing system of internal clocks that governs, well, just about everything from your energy levels to your overall health. And we'll do it by thinking of your body as one magnificent orchestra. All right, so here's our set list for today. We're going to start by meeting the conductor up in your brain. Then we'll see how it reads the musical score written by light. After that, we'll meet the whole orchestra it leads, find out what happens when some musicians go rogue and start playing their own tune. And finally, we'll get into why keeping that orchestra in perfect harmony is so important for your health. Okay, first up, our journey begins in the command center, your brain. It's time to meet the one holding the baton, the master conductor of your body's entire orchestra. So is there really a master clock? You bet there is. It's a tiny, densely packed little cluster of neurons right in the hypothalamus, and it's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know, so for the rest of our chat, we're just going to call it the SCN. So think of the SCN as the maestro, standing on the podium. Its job is to set the tempo for the entire performance, making sure every single section of the orchestra, your liver, your lungs, you name it, is playing in perfect time, all on a roughly 24-hour schedule. But how does a clock with no gears and no springs actually keep time? It's pretty amazing, really. It all comes down to this incredibly elegant and precise molecular dance between genes and proteins, something we call a molecular feedback loop. Okay, I know this looks a little complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It starts with what you can think of as the go team, proteins called clock and BMAL1. They turn on some other genes. Now, these genes make their own proteins, which we can call the stop team. As the stop team proteins build up, they eventually go back and shut down the original go team. Then, as the stop team fades away, the whole process starts over. This beautiful, constant cycle takes about 24 hours to complete, and that is the fundamental tick-tock of life itself. So we have this amazing self-winding clock. But here's the thing. It can't just run on its own in a dark closet. A conductor needs a musical score to follow, right? And for the SCN, that score is written fresh every single day by the most powerful cue in our environment, light. Now, scientists have a fantastic word for these external time givers, Zeitgeber. It's German, and it literally means time giver. How perfect is that? And while a few things can act as a Zeitgeber, light is, without a doubt, the most powerful one for our master clock. It's what locks our internal time to the 24-hour day of the outside world. And this shows you just how important that is. There's a clear hierarchy here. Light is the king. It is the boss. The signal goes straight from your eyes to the SCN and basically says, hey, the sun is up. Time for a hard reset. Now, other things like when you exercise or eat can kind of nudge the clock a little bit, but they just don't have that same powerful system-wide resetting effect that light has. Okay, so here is where the story gets even cooler. The SCN in your brain isn't the only clock, not by a long shot. It's just the conductor. The actual music is played by a huge orchestra of other clocks, with a musician in almost every single organ and tissue in your body. And this relationship is key. The SCN, our conductor, is stable. It listens to light and keeps the main beat. But the musicians, the clocks in your liver, your muscles, your fat cells, they follow the conductor's lead for sure, but they're also a bit more flexible. They pay attention to local cues, and the most important one is the timing of your food. So you might be wondering, how does the conductor in the brain actually talk to the violin section way over in your liver? It's not like it can shout directions. Instead, it uses chemical messengers, hormones, as its batons. These travel through your bloodstream and deliver timing signals to the entire orchestra. And here are the two main batons it waves. As darkness falls, the SCN tells the pineal gland to release melatonin, the famous hormone of darkness. That's the signal to the whole orchestra that it's time to wind down. Then, on the flip side, just before you wake up, the SCN signals for glucocorticoids, like cortisol. That's the wake-up call, getting the whole body ready for action. All right, now for the plot twist, because this is where things can get a little messy for our symphony. What happens when some of the musicians, let's say the liver, decide to ignore the conductor and start playing to a completely different rhythm, a rhythm set not by light, but by when you eat? And this is maybe the biggest takeaway here. Your brain clock, the SCN, is locked to light. That's its cue. But many of your organ clocks, especially the ones involved in metabolism, like your liver and pancreas, are powerfully synchronized by when you eat. For them, food is the Zeitgeber. Okay, check this out, because this is absolutely wild. This chart shows what happens in an experiment when you take a nocturnal animal, which normally eats at night, and you force it to eat only during the day. Look what happens. The SCN clock, the conductor, doesn't budge. It's rock solid on its normal schedule. But the liver clock, the musician, it completely flips 180 degrees. It's now playing daytime music when the conductor is trying to get it to play nighttime music. This is called uncoupling, and it creates total chaos in the orchestra. So what's the big deal? Who cares if the conductor is calling for a slow waltz and the percussion section is playing a frantic drum solo? Well, it turns out this internal discord, what scientists call circadian misalignment, has some really serious consequences for our health. When your clocks are out of sync, your body just gets confused. It's inefficient. Imagine your liver trying to process a big meal at midnight when the rest of your body thinks it should be in deep sleep and repair mode. That creates this metabolic confusion that puts a ton of stress on the system. It's exactly why things like shift work, jet lag, or even just habitually eating super late at night can make you feel so lousy. And let's be clear, this isn't just about feeling a little off. The science on this is solid. This kind of chronic internal dysynchronization is directly linked to a much higher risk for really serious metabolic problems. Things like obesity, trouble handling sugar, which can lead to type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. So it all comes back to this one final thought. For your body's orchestra to play a beautiful, healthy symphony, every single player needs to be reading from the same sheet music. The way you do that is by aligning your two most powerful time cues, getting bright light during the day and eating your meals during the day. That's how you give both the conductor and the musicians the same score to play from, creating the kind of internal harmony that's absolutely essential for your long-term health. Thank you for watching the Sleep to Dream Analytics Explainer video. We hope you sleep well and dream easy.